Hello, everyone that listens to this podcast, and everyone who does not listen to this podcast. Nothing for you. Of course, you're not listening, so you wouldn't hear that. This is episode 184. Super surprise guest in this episode, the Silver Badger. Yeah, he's been so infrequent of late that he is now a guest. We bumped him down. We revoked his status as co-host. Certainly not even close to the number 2 co-host. But he is definitely back to being a guest. Of course, I'm joking, but it is good to have the Badger back on this episode. And something new in this episode, I give a quiz to the Badger. I know for all of you who have been listening a long time know that he comes up with quizzes all the time. Well, this time, I came up with a quiz about one-hit wonders. And spoiler alert, him and Missy combined to be very bad at it. That said, give the rest of the episode a listen because we do talk about some other things. Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, because we're hip and we're up to date. And then just a bunch of other things. So give it a listen. Hopefully you enjoy it. And while you're driving around listening in your car, because I assume that's where most people listen to it, head on over, steer that car, direct it, put up in your little navigation app, whatever, 318 Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. That would be the address for the beer sauce shop. Get over to the beer sauce shop, buy beer, buy bourbon, buy barbecue supplies, buy a big green egg if you can afford it, and buy some rubs and sauce for a great weekend of barbecue. It's football season, it's tailgating seasons again, and it's the Blues are back. There's a lot of great things going on. So, yeah, go buy some shit to go enjoy yourselves at home or friends or in a park. I don't know what you do. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, also, I feel remiss if I didn't say this. I got 2 things I want to mention. Stan needs a new kidney. Please go to that Facebook page. Please like that page. Please share that page. Stan needs a new kidney. He has started dialysis of one form, so we are to the point where Stan, it's a point of no return. So please get out there and help him out. Also, Butcher Queen Comics, comic book from Red 5 Comics, featuring Jim Owsley and Benjamin Sawyer, that is out officially on the stand. Solicitation for number 4 just hit previews this week. So, yeah, give it a go. Those guys were great on the show. The book's out. We really want to push for it because they're 2 local, fun guys, and we want them to do great. So, do all of those things. Listen to the episode. Like, share, rate, comment. Do whatever you have to do. But please, God, download it, if nothing else. And then after this bomb, you're going to hear the episode. So, here you go. Now. All right, so we're going to start in a second. When we do, you got to quit turning away like that, okay?
I'm trying to...
No, you can do that, but when you turn like that's good. But
right.
When you turn like... this is your central pivot point.
It's been a minute since
you know what? It has been a minute since you've been on. And we're going to ask you where you've been here.
Oh, introduce the guest.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, we are back, and I always here of late have done this little chit-chat before we fade in, before we say the we are back thing. But that's a funny joke, so I want to go ahead and lead off with the fact, Cattywampus to my left, who's always in the house, but not always on the episode. She has been more than the other co-hosts of late. That would be my wife, the flop, Melissa, Missy, if you know her. And today's special guest is the Silver Badger.
I'm a little insulted by that.
Nerdcast Jay's been on more than you of late.
That's probably true.
It's really nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah.
So the reason we invited the Badger on today is because he's a hockey expert. He's a no. Hey, but in all actuality, hey, bud, where you been?
I've been around town. I just haven't been invited on the show. I think I got fired unceremoniously.
Weren't you all like on death's doorstep a couple weeks ago?
I had ammonia for like a day.
Ammonia or pneumonia?
You said
that one too. Yeah, that one. Hey, let's not make fun of it. Jim Henson died that day.
Well, so my favorite thing about your pneumonia was Bender walked into the house and he goes, "What kind of grown man has pneumonia?" And I said, "Motherfucker, you've had it walking pneumonia 5 times, self-diagnosed every time since I've known you." So
yeah, I actually thought I had strep, and I went in the urgent care, and well, good news is you don't have strep. Bad news is you have pneumonia.
You have a problem with that word.
I do.
That's like Worcestershire sauce for people.
And I can't.
Don't you
and
just
no.
call it horse sister sauce?
Horse sister sauce. Horse sister sauce.
That sounds like something you see at a strip club.
So, in case you couldn't guess, Bender is not here today, but that's okay.
Is this where you insert applause?
Yay! I do have the soundboard today.
I can
because,
finish my thoughts. Sweet.
Spoiler alert! I do have a quiz for you guys later, and it's going to tie into one of my topics. But
Wow.
But one of the reasons that I was very excited about today.
He
I'm
wrote
here.
jokes, that's why.
Yeah, I brought jokes. I wrote a joke, or maybe two. Plus, by the way, I'm getting a lot of traction on Twitter of late. Not as much as you got, or Bender got for his political post, but I'm getting some traction for my joke that I wrote. But the internet's not proved me wrong that I wrote that joke, so I'm very excited still.
How many likes did you get?
6.
6. But for a joke. I mean, for a
No, is it 6 for real?
I think it's 6 or 7 hearts and some retweets. But for like a old school punny joke.
Sure.
Pun-ishing joke. But yeah, so
right there, Frank Castle.
But anyway, today though, I went in our text thread, our little podcast text thread that we have, which is funny to me that we have a text thread for just a podcast. I put it'll be a good Saturday drinking podcast that we haven't done in a while. Like my favorite. I don't know how. I mean, I know there were some sound issues, and I don't know how the jokey we came across, but one of my favorite episodes we ever did was that Saturday drinking game.
Quest?
Yeah, Drunk Quest.
That was a terrible episode. A fun time.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
get me
we
wrong.
had. I think it was.
People liked it.
Did they?
People liked it because you could track minute by minute the the descent into anarchy that was our drinking.
That was the only time I left this place and thought that when I got home I should not have done that.
That's the only
And it
time
was
you
like
left.
4:30 in
that's
the afternoon,
That's
too.
the only time you've left the podcast.
Oh, of course.
You've left pretty drunk
It's,
before,
so
Yeah.
was
and the
it
wife has drove.
Yes.
was it Bender that Ubered out of here?
Yeah, Bender had to Uber that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to Uber that episode. So, but it's pretty appropriate that we are drinking on a Saturday doing this episode, and today is National Drink a Beer Day. So, hashtag.
And I get the shitty beer.
Yeah, but you got the good, drink a good one in there. Plus, you
only-
can crack open that Absence of Light. We're almost to Absence
yeah.
of Light season.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what I was going to say. I just completely lost it. That's the first time that's
I was
happened in a long
about to
time.
say
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's...
National Beer Day. Drink
yeah.
a beer day.
Oh, and maybe the name of the title of the episode will be hashtag National Drink a Beer Day. I don't know. But we'll figure out.
Otherwise known as Saturday.
It
That's
should
Saturday.
be. And our guest is.
And our guest is. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good one too.
Pretty good.
I know you've been working a lot for one reason. You did not get fired. There was much a big hubbubaloo about the day that I did an episode without anyone, and you guys were like, "No one asked me." Well, I recorded that episode at like 3:00, and that was the only time we had to
I
get it
wasn't
out.
even at home when he did it, so I wasn't even involved.
But it was one of those conversations about the podcast that didn't include you and Bender, and this is how it happened. I'm going to give you a breakdown of how it happened. I called Missy.
Is this like an apology?
No.
Because it doesn't feel apologetic.
If you're gonna label this anything, it's me throwing Missy under the bus. I said Missy. I said how you feeling? What do you want to do tonight? She goes, I gotta tell you, I just want to relax. I don't want to do the podcast. I don't want to do anything. I just want to relax. I said, okay.
I don't remember this
Done.
conversation.
And so that's why I did the podcast by myself that day, because I was like, I got to get something out. Much like last week, I literally had no time to get something out, and that's kind of where you've been of late. You've been traveling a lot,
Yeah.
things of that nature. Loving the job still?
Yeah, I mean, I like being a road warrior. It sucks being away from your kids and your family here and there, but you know, you've been in sales for a long time. You know how it goes. It's better than Cube life. That is for damn sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm with you. I traveled. One of the reasons I had a little chronological picture of things I was doing instead of recording the podcast on my trip to Pittsburgh. The biggest thing that came out of Pittsburgh, non-work related. I did have a good win, work related.
Have you been to Pittsburgh before?
Last year, same time.
That's right.
So the biggest win that came out of it is I watched the Buccos, the Pittsburgh Pirates, eliminate the Cubs from the playoffs, which was very well.
In person, right? So you went to PNC
I was there,
Park.
yeah.
So where does PNC Park rank in your stadiums you've been?
It's the best skyline in all of baseball.
Okay.
It is really a beautiful ballpark. It isn't. I love Busch, but it's the homer in me. And actually, aesthetically, Busch is a very good looking ballpark.
Which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I mean, with the bridge, the way they've worked the bridge into it, and it's an old brick look. It's good. PNC Park, though, once you're inside the ballpark, man, it is stellar. Mm-hmm. It is stellar. And I even made the comment that it sucks so bad that this team, with the exception of 4 or 5 years ago when they had that little brief run of good, that they can't keep a winner and they can't sell tickets. Because both times I've been to that park, there's been attendance has probably been 6,000.
Oh, I didn't know you've been twice. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And the first time I was against the Braves, and this time it was against the Cubs. And the Cubs, I even had to ask a couple of attendants. I did some investigative journalism here. They were selling shirts. The NL Central East greatest rivalry, Pirates Cubs, and I was like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah,
and
that's sad.
They were like, I guess it's a big rivalry. I was like, I almost bet you $1 kajillion, $1 kajillion.
Yeah.
That the Cubs would claim it's the Cardinals. And the Cardinals would claim it's the Cubs. And if you did a nationwide thing, it would be Yankees, Red Sox 1, Cardinals, Cubs 2.
You can make an argument for Dodgers Giants.
Well, you know what?
Because people actually get fucking stabbed.
Well, let me say, well, the only reason I'll say Dodgers Giants, because the reason I put Cardinals Cubs 2 is because Dodger Giants actually tracks back to before those teams moved. Sure. Which historically that makes sense, but half of that historical rivalry comes from before they were even in the cities they were in now. That said, those are the three.
Yeah.
That's the three baseball rivalries that nothing else compares to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And there's some other rivalries in sports, Blackhawks Blues, Packers Bears that are close, but those three, it's hard to argue that those three rivalries aren't the biggest in North American sports just because they're so damn old. I mean, they go back double the length of some other rivalries.
I think in professional sports, it'd be hard to argue that Red Sox Yankees is the biggest rivalry.
Biggest, yeah. And I do stand by that. I think the Cubs Cardinals, because they're an extra 50 years longer than any NFL rivalry. You know what I mean?
What would be the biggest NFL rivalry?
It's probably got to be Packers Bears.
Yeah, you're right.
It's got to be Packers Bears. Dallas San Francisco was a big one for a while, but not as much.
Right.
Cleveland Pittsburgh, but Cleveland hasn't carried their end of it, so it's Packers Bears.
I think Cleveland Baltimore might be even bigger than Cleveland Pittsburgh.
Well, but that's also Cleveland Pittsburgh. That Baltimore is the old Cleveland. So
right.
Yeah, that's why. But anyway, let's quit talking about sports. I brought stuff to talk about.
Sports.
Did you bring stuff to talk about?
We'll find out.
All right. Well, I told you before this that I do have a quiz.
Why didn't you ask me?
Did you bring something to talk about?
No, but you didn't ask me.
It's its own segment.
Yeah, but you looked at me and then looked away and didn't even ask.
Well, I looked at you thinking I'm going to get shit for not asking her. I sure did. I want to tell somebody this other personal story. I get allergies, seasonal allergies, really bad, and when I do,
you get the man cold, huh?
It flares up in irritated skin, and it flares up on my hands. So my wedding ring sometimes is in a spot that always itches, so I don't wear it sometimes. Like especially when I'm home, I take it off. But like I took it off one night, and I knew where it was, but I wear the silicone ring because of sports sometimes.
Okay,
and so I took off with this. I left this on the end table next to the couch.
And then you left
I
town.
took off at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday morning to fly to Pittsburgh, and I was wearing my silicone ring. And on the flight, I looked at my hand, and I go, you know what? My wife is going to find that ring, and she's going to ask me, why are you not wearing a wedding ring on your out-of-town trip? And I didn't even told her. I was going to take a picture and send it to her.
Yeah.
But I was at the hotel, just checked into my hotel, and I called her, and she goes, hey, are you wearing a wedding ring? And I just started laughing. And
I was really hoping that he'd be like, yeah, I got it on. And I'd be like, nuh-uh, because I have it in my hand.
So she tried to set a trap for me.
I did.
Oh, wow.
Fail.
Admiral Akbar over here.
I did take a picture of me wearing the silicone ring and sent it to her. And keeping with the character that I've put out there on this podcast, I was sitting on the toilet at the time that I took that picture.
Oh, hot.
This is not a character. That's your real life. You are a shitter.
You know what? All that is Jeremy turned up to 11, much like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That said, though, I did bring some things to talk about, and I'm going to start us. I'm going to jump right into... we've brought this up a couple of times in the past about memes I do like, memes I don't like. Like, I don't like that fucking Timberlake one. What is it?
It's gonna be May.
Yeah, gonna be May. I don't like that one.
Yeah, it's lame, yeah.
The internet this past week gave me one that I just was hysterical over, and it all has to do with beloved rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine.
Do you know his real name? It's like Daniel.
It's like it's like
Daniel
Rachel
Day-Lewis.
It's
Wow.
like Rachel
That guy can do
McPussy
anything.
Pants. It's something stupid. It's like a wussy name, but he's all tatted
so
up.
So is Marshall Mathers and.
No, that's Eminem. That makes sense. You know?
No, but I'm just saying, like, they're.
Well, Tekashi, for those that don't know, Tekashi is a member of the Nine Blood or Blood Nine, whatever. I don't know.
So I'm sorry, his name is Tekashi.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, and it's spelt the numeral 6 IX, the numeral 9 INE. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Is he the guy who's got the rainbow teeth?
He's got all kinds of tats and shit.
Oh, he is more disgusting looking than Post
So,
Malone.
for those that don't know, he was arrested because he's been a member of a gang for a long time. Well, Tekashi broke the bro
This sounds
code.
like Tekashi. I'm sorry, just sounds like cereal.
Yeah,
So go
well,
ahead.
he broke the bro code and he flipped on everybody. So
Oh.
the internet.
That's not the bro code. That's the gang code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was being a little facetious about that bro code thing. But, so I put down some of my favorite memes that I've seen, because there's
Okay.
a big meme of him, like, with his hand out, like, flipping on... He even flipped on Cardi B and said she was in the gang.
Wow.
And Cardi B's like, while I was affiliated with the gang, I am not in the exclusive set that he was in where we murdered people.
Wait, he's murdered people?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Well, he's a free man now because he flipped on about 47, 50 people. So
No, that'll work out for him.
well, here,
And
yeah,
he is
well,
not going to go into.
No. Let me. Yeah. Well, hold that thought because that's part of that. That's
Okay.
something I have. I want to get into some of the memes. I saw one that said with the little handout picture. It said Tekashi 6ix9ine confesses that Mob Barley shot the sheriff and did in fact also shoot the deputy. There was one that says, thankfully Plankton was not present in the court to ask Tekashi the secret Krabby Patty formula. Tekashi testified that Childish Gambino is actually comedian actor Donald Glover in real life.
What? Shocker.
And this is my favorite. I don't know why this is my favorite. Tekashi testified that Shaggy, in fact, it was him. But there's a million of them.
That's good. All right.
And they're pretty funny. But like Missy said, in related news, he has announced this week he will not go into witness protection program.
Okay.
Which he's tattooed. They were talking about, hey, we're going to have to remove his tattoos. We're going to have to do all this. But they did say that he did say, I'm not going to witness protection program. And here's my one joke, Busy. When reached for comment, his lawyer says, I'm not sure who that Tekashi is, but I'm fairly certain that in the future he will not need me standing anywhere near him in driving range, drive-by range.
No shit.
It's like, don't get close to that guy.
Jesus.
He's going to be taken out. Like,
I don't know why he wouldn't go into witness protection. I mean, he just rolled on a shit ton of people.
he did say though that one of the reasons doesn't want to go into protection, that he wants to resume the best life he can and continue making the music that we know and love.
Do we know it or love it?
Not at all.
Okay.
That's kind of why I put that there, because I don't know what fucking song this guy does. Apparently he's a big deal, though.
Oh,
I mean,
we're so white.
yeah, white as the driven snow. I mean,
Yes.
it's...
You want me to call our 14-year-old down and see if she knows any songs?
I don't think she does.
No, and she listens to all types of music.
And she listens to absolute shit. So
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to tell you this right now, Tom. As you're standing here,
Yeah.
I want it on the record that both me and Melissa volunteer and would love to get the invite to your Deadpool next year for your celebrities. And I can tell you one of my top picks is going to be Tekashi 6ix9ine. I mean, there's no way around
Oh,
it.
the Deadpool's going rough this year. I might be shut out for the first time ever.
You what?
I'm.
Oh, they may all live? You should get bonus points for everyone living.
You know, we should. Yeah, and in the league, I think of the 30 people that were selected to die, I think only 2 have died out of 30. Pretty bad. Not a fun year for Celebrity Death Pool.
Let's break that statement down a little bit. Not a fun year for Celebrity Deadpool, i.e., not enough celebrities are dropping to this
Let me throw
year.
this out there. Who's the biggest celebrity to die in 2019?
Oh, man, you probably could track it better because you watch it with that stuff.
I
But
think it might be Mr. Eddie Money.
Eddie, well, was it this year or last year that Joan Rivers died?
Oh, this
Oh,
long time
Joan Rivers died
ago.
at least 3 or 4 years ago.
I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. I'm an idiot. There had to be somebody. I mean, Eddie Money's big, but there had to be somebody bigger, right?
It's been a slow year.
Yeah. If Eddie Money's your biggest celebrity,
Wait,
which
did John McCain die this year or was that last year?
I was thinking it was, well, maybe. I don't know. Hard to say, man. Hard to say. Time's running.
My first thought was Anthony Bourdain. That was last summer.
Yeah, that was a
shit.
big one. That was a big
That
one.
was.
Oh, well, So we've been watching, what's that show with that comedian that we watch?
Wow. Could literally be
Wow.
anything.
Yeah.
We just watched
Kevin
Kumail
James.
Nanjiani on it.
Oh, so we've been talking. We got a couple in the Throw It in Missy segments we're going to talk about. It's
Jeselnik.
Anthony Jeselnik's. It's
Oh.
Good Talk with Anthony Jeselnik.
So
It's very
at the
good.
end
Wait,
of
is he the
each,
guy who made the Eric Clapton joke?
He makes them all. He's rough.
So he, at the end of each one of his shows, there's a segment where they talk about a comedian that has passed away and how it's touched their
Make God
lives.
Laugh is the name of the segment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
2 of them of the 5 shows have been Brody Stevens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because comedians loved Brody Stevens.
I don't even know who that is.
Well,
Well,
so
he just recently committed suicide.
yeah, he was depressed.
You would know him if you saw him.
You know him,
Oh,
and
I
you
do
know
remember
his
that.
voice, and he was very famous among other comedians, and
Yeah.
he had
A comics
some
comic of the
yeah,
year.
and he had some specials, but he also like one of his big deals was, and one of the ways he stayed not making money, but one of the ways he made good money is multiple shows used him, like sitcoms and talk shows, used him as the warm up to get the crowd ready to go. So
Sure.
he would come up and tell about 40 or 30 minutes of jokes and get people in the laughing mood. Which is a big deal. I mean, they say
That's
they
funny.
need a warm crowd, so that was what he did. But anyway,
That's a good show. I really like Anthony Jeselnik. Now, I would never want to talk to that dude because I would probably cry because he is mean. But
he's mean as a
it's funny.
snake, man.
It's funny.
But do you
Well,
think he's mean to like his fans?
No,
he
but
loves his
that's-
fans. He loves comedy, but he doesn't meet his fans because he can't. He gets so many death threats that he just won't do pressers.
I
and
think he
stuff.
just.
Gotcha.
I think he just stays in Anthony
He-
Jeselnik
Yeah, he-
character
So he's
all
shtick.
the time.
He can't go to New Jersey because he made fun of that kid that died in that shark attack in New Jersey.
Well,
and the
let's be real.
whole
He just
state
told
wants
us-
to kill him.
He just told a story on this latest episode going to the movie theater for the Big Sick, so
Yeah.
he goes out in public.
Yeah. And yeah, put a pin in that because we will bring that up in the Throw It to Missy segment. See, sometimes you inadvertently have Throw It to Missy stuff. So, but so over under though, just knowing what we know about the stellar hip hop career of Tekashi 6ix9ine and his more infamous criminal career, you think this guy gets off next year, or do you think he actually lives a long life? And we'll put his. I'm going to put his life at 3.5 years. Over under the next 3.5 years, Tekashi 6ix9ine dies.
I'll say over because the under seems a little too obvious.
Yeah.
Well, do you think he'll stay in this country, or do you think he'll go somewhere else?
I think that motherfucker's going to rap and do shows. I think the more outgoing he is, the more likely he's going to be
He's
dead.
so gross looking.
He's as gross. I mean, arguably, him and Post Malone, ugliest rappers alive.
Post Malone.
But
Yeah.
at least
I do know
Post
that guy.
Malone has songs that we've heard of.
And I love Post
guarantee
Malone.
we
yeah.
have not
I'm
heard
a
any
fan of Post
Tekashi
Malone's work.
songs. I guarantee it.
I love your work, Post Malone. I just wouldn't let you date my daughter.
He just looks like he stinks.
Yeah, he looks like an ashtray smells. That's what Post Malone looks like.
What was that little that rapper that always wore the clock around his neck? What was his name?
Flavor
Yeah,
Flav.
he looks
What?
He looks like he stinks. Like you just
Oh,
look
his
at him
breath
and you're
is-
like,
I mean, everybody knows.
That- oh, with that
I don't know
grill?
that it's a known, but everybody should assume that Flavor Flav has dookie breath.
that's what he looks like. He looks like he has dookie breath, and I don't even know how that is figured out by looking at someone.
So I'm looking up you know what, who might be biggest celebrity deaths of 2019.
Let me hear it.
All right, so here are your contenders.
Okay. This is why we need a producer, someone that doesn't want to be on the air but wants to be a part of the podcast and just will sit and look up stuff for us.
So here I'll give you these 5 to vote for. All right, the Money Man, Eddie Money,
Eddie Money.
Toni Morrison,
Okay.
Rip Torn,
Rip Torn's a big one.
Beth Chapman.
Okay.
I'm going to throw a bonus one out there, Grumpy Cat. I mean, seriously. And then here's the one I think it is. Well, you know what? I'll give you 3 more.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Changing your own
Chewy,
rules.
Peter Mayhew,
Oh,
yeah.
Peter Mayhew, probably the most famous, but not known that he's the most famous.
John Singleton, the director of Boys in the Hood.
That was a good one.
But here's the one I think it is. I forgot Luke Perry died this year.
Oh, it's Luke Perry. Luke Perry because of he was younger.
Yeah, it was 50 maybe?
And he had recently reconnected to a whole new generation of people. It's Luke Perry 1, Eddie Money 2.
So don't hate Jeremy, but Kaylin.
I will never hate Jeremy.
No, Kaylin and I watched the newest season of Riverdale
Oh, that's
without
okay.
you.
That's okay.
Okay, and it was the first
I would
episode.
cry if I watch his
the
last
first episode of the season. I was like, oh, it's Luke Perry, and Kaylin rolled her eyes at me, and then I looked up his last episode, and I was like, here it is. And by the end of that episode, I'm like, bye, Luke Perry. Like, it was so sad.
I would cry on his last. I mean,
Wait, how did he die? Natural causes?
Yeah, heart attack, I believe.
Or something?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I'd be thinking, well, hell, what's his name? Sings all the song or made all the theme songs and was the dad and on.
Oh, geez, we're having trouble with names.
God damn,
this
yeah, what's our
episode.
problem? God, his son made that. Hey,
Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke. He died. He died playing hockey. Had a heart attack.
But yeah, Alan
in great shape. But I mean,
he was like in his 70s.
yeah, but I don't think he was in his 70s. But I think he was old. But yeah, Luke Perry. I'm pretty sure it was a heart attack.
All right, Missy, over under Alan Thicke's death. I'm going to say 70.
I'm gonna say 62.
How
old he was?
I'm saying 72.
Are you looking at it right now?
I am.
What do you think?
I say he was.
Go right in the middle.
What was your
62? His was 72.
Oh, I'll do 67.
Closest to the pin would be Missy.
What was it?
69.
Oh wow! Yeah. Well, 69 may be our theme because we got Tekashi 6'9". I mean, you know.
Every time I see Tekashi, I think of Kobayashi.
Well, I like I said earlier, I do have a quiz. Oh, you never gave me an over and under. How long is Tekashi going to live? 3.5 years.
No, I say over.
All right, I'm going to go under just to be different.
I think you just said Kobayashi, too, which is great.
Kobayashi, he may die too. I mean, he's ate a lot of bullshit in his life.
Yeah. Well, he's suspended from the National League.
Oh yeah, he's not allowed. Yeah, he's cheated apparently, or so. Or no, he's just a bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that. And
How do
there's
you cheat?
well, there's documentaries too, like that they're not. I mean, it's a rough and tumble
That
world.
guy's had more wieners in his mouth than a Kardashian.
Speaking of.
We just watched the Alec Baldwin roast.
Okay.
Good. One of the best jokes of the night. Blake Griffin. What was it?
Caitlyn Jenner's
yeah,
here.
Caitlyn
proving,
Jenner.
Hold on.
Yeah, good.
Proving no one in the Kardashian family wants a white dick.
He went hard. Blake's good because he does stand up around L.A. He's
Griffin
trying
does?
to be a stand up, and he's delightful.
He's a delightful
Yeah, he is. But there was some. Nikki Glaser was great. Blake
She's
was great.
always great, I think. She is
then
one of my favorite female comedians.
The Roastmaster General Jeffrey Ross was great. I mean, there were some great people in it. But
the Caitlyn Jenner jokes, it's just one joke, and it got old after like the second person. Like, yes, you're in the LGBT community, you're transgender, and you're Republican, which those things should not.
And
you know,
you're
the
now you're a
Republican-
woman
yeah,
also.
Yeah, and so that joke got old real fast. Like,
Yeah.
Jeremy actually fast forwarded through hers because
she was not good.
Yeah.
She was not good.
Didn't she
I
have
just-
one like home run? I thought I saw that on social
Maybe
media. She had
but
one
she
joke.
was, it was
good.
kind of annoying.
So it's not weird to me that he became she. It's the fact that the voice is exactly the same.
Yeah.
I think the weird thing for me is, she killed a guy.
Oh yeah, that car wreck.
I thought you. She
Two guys killed two guys. Eliminated two guys from existence.
That joke worked on many levels that I did not intend, quite honestly.
I think Blake also said on behalf of half the NBA players and everyone on the
And
rap
all-
hit
yeah.
charts, thanks for bringing the
Are giving your daughter's
Giving-
daddy issues.
yeah, giving your daughter's daddy issues. Yeah, that was a pretty solid joke too.
Pretty good.
So
But Nikki Glaser, she went hard. She was.
to everyone,
She used
against
like
it.
the word cunt and pussy, and
Yeah.
I was like, I think I might be in love.
She goes, preach sister, preach sister. A funny joke about Nikki Glaser, though, is one of the, I can't think who said it, one of the comedians stood up and said, glad to see Kellyanne Conway came back for another roast.
Jeez.
Yeah, she loved it. Dr. Ken Jung was
Yeah.
there, and he was pretty funny, too. I mean, there was a lot of small dick jokes with him. It's a roast, you expect certain jokes, but still, it was fun. It was worth it.
I think one of the better ones though was when Anthony Jeselnik. That was the first time
that was his first. And that was Trump, right?
Yes,
And he was unbelievable.
I was like, wow, this dude is funny.
Yeah.
His Eric Clapton joke is one of the most offensive, funny jokes I've ever heard.
What is it?
His joke. All right, I gotta remember.
Well, so go ahead.
So, the song
Tears in Heaven, yeah.
You know why that song was written.
When his son fell out of the window and died on the 35th floor.
So you know why his son died.
Yeah.
His son died for inspiration.
Yeah. He also he, like I said, the only joke he got censored and why he quit his original show was it was 2 weeks after the Boston Marathon bombing, and he said a bomber placed a bomb at the end of the Boston Marathon, proving there's just some lines you can't cross.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and they censored it, so he said, I'm not doing the show anymore. So he told us that. We went and saw him here in St. Louis at the pageant. And I mean, he's great. He's great.
Yeah.
So, I did bring a quiz, but I want to get to my quiz later. So if you brought something, now is your time.
All right, so hey, my favorite show has announced that it's coming to an end. BoJack Horseman.
Oh,
Fun
okay.
trivia fact: the first show from Netflix to be syndicated,
Right?
is going to do its final season in 2 parts, which apparently is what shows do now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Sopranos might have been the first one to do that.
I don't remember that being
Sopranos
two
did 2.
parts. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did 2 seasons.
So HBO started it.
Yes. Fantastic show. I know I talk about it all the time. It's going to be sad to see it end. What a great cast of characters and voice actors. Will Arnett, my crush, Alison Brie. You waving at me because I'm not on them.
I think I saw Spiderweb.
And Aaron Paul, who is also doing a movie
El Camino.
that looks pretty fucking good.
We're going to watch it. It's Netflix. We can't wait for that. Yeah.
That should be pretty good. We talked about movies that you were excited about. I'm going to tell you one movie that's coming out Friday. It looks fucking terrible. The Rambo 5 looks fucking
can't
Oh, it's already out.
I can't
Is it
wait.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Was it this Friday that came out?
no, it was last week because I work with a woman. She's like, I went and saw Rambo, and she's a black woman that's very diva-ish. I go, you
Wait, did she say it like this? I don't see Rambo.
No, she goes, I went and she's a black woman, but she's really a white person stuck in there.
That seems deep.
So she
That normally doesn't go that direction.
no, so
It's very rare.
I think
wanna
she
know-
identifies as a white person. Let's put it like that. So
She's a rainbow.
yeah,
You know, she's very colorful.
Okay.
She's like, I went and saw Rambo with her husband. I go, you did? She goes, I've seen all those movies. They are great. And I was like, what the fuck? Who
I
are
don't-
you?
I don't give a fuck. I want to see it. I want to see
She said it was good.
Yeah. I mean, Rambo's going to murder people. I watched the Equalizer, the remake.
Does he
Is he
die
murder
at the
people,
end?
or is he justifiably killing people? There's a difference.
Yeah, that's probably, you're probably
He,
accurate there.
he is not holding up well, by the way.
Wait, I can do this. Here's a microphone for me. Murdoch, I'm coming for you.
I wish we could have video that went with that.
We should.
But see, if I grab the microphone like that, but then I gotta start killing.
I want one of
agents.
those old school mics like that he grabs.
Oh,
in there.
yeah, that's
that was
good
a good one. I like the Rambo movies. I'm okay with them. I don't
Not
mind
seen
telling
a
you.
one.
You never seen a Rambo movie?
Oh wow.
The original is actually a really good movie.
The original, yeah, it got a lot of good. The original ending was he got murdered or he got killed in it, and somebody saw fit at the end of it, like we might get another movie out of this, so let's let him live.
What's the best Sly Stallone movie? Rocky the original?
Rocky's good. The First Blood. Copland's pretty goddamn good. It is very underrated.
Been a while since I've seen it.
I mean, it was Ray Liotta, him. I mean, that was a very good movie, and that's the one he plumped up for himself.
He did
Oh,
plump
yeah, he
up.
was chubby.
Michael Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport, who I love, Michael
I
Rappaport.
believe Harley Keitel's in that as well.
Yep. Good movie. Good movie. I mean, it's got to be Rocky.
It's gotta be the original Rocky. I would say number 2 though. I love the original Creed.
Yeah, the Creed was good. You know what? That whole Pele soccer movie was a good movie.
Victory?
Escaping the Germans.
I've never seen
Yeah,
Victory.
that's a good movie. Yeah, well, that's a tough one. Maybe we need to think about this and rate maybe a segment coming up soon. I've been thinking about it. We teased this years ago that coming up with the PC Bombcast Hall of Fame, we should do Ultimate Man movies as our first wing of the Hall of Fame and come up with some. And
All right.
I like that idea, and it'll give us things to do on like the Facebooks and the interwebs and stuff. Put like a old pic, and you know how I like photoshopping shit. So.
I would love, Sly Stallone's an interesting guy. He's got a good, interesting background. I would love to see a good biopic about him in like 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, same.
I would say 5 because in 20 or 30 years we're also going to be old as fuck. So
Yeah.
I'm going through his list. Cliffhanger.
I thought she was about to say I'm going through a midlife crisis. I like we were talking about age. Like I'm going through the change. Oh boy, buckle up in this house. It's going to be a rough one.
Tango and Cash. That's the one I was.
Oh
thinking
man, I
of.
love Tango and Cash. Him and Kurt Russell. That's their magnus opus. I mean, that's a beautiful film.
Stop or my mom will shoot?
Oh, have you
Yeah.
heard the rumor on that one?
No.
So there's a Hollywood myth or Hollywood legend that says that the competitiveness between him and Arnold was so big at the time when they were the biggest stars in Hollywood that Arnold got the script and thought it was such a shitty movie that he intentionally put it out because he knew Stallone was the other guy that was going after it, that he intentionally put it out that he agreed to do the film just so Stallone would lower his rate and get it because he knew it was so bad. Like, they feuded that hard. Like, even though they were friends, they had that big of a competition that he wanted that movie to come out because it was such a bad movie.
What's the worst movie, that or Junior, though?
Oh, yeah, that's a neck and neck race.
Don't forget about his gym, Rhinestone.
That was early. I
believe he shows his dog in
Dolly.
that.
Yeah, he does.
I'm pretty sure his dog was in that movie.
Stallone showed the Little Stallion in that one?
There's definitely a movie where Stallone shows.
Well, he's the Italian stallion, so he'd have to show the Little Stallion.
Do you think he's done steroids in life? Because if so,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he's even.
Okay, well then it is a tiny stallion.
He's done all the steroids.
I think he's definitely.
He's done them all.
Yeah. Somebody said, Stallone, what have you not taken? And he said, ibuprofen. That was the list. I'm like, yeah. Good career, though. I mean,
your boy The Rock is definitely juiced too.
Oh, of course he is. There's no repercussions for actors to not juice.
So one of his roles was in 1970 called "A Party at Kitty and Studs," and he was the stud.
That might be where he shows his dick at.
That might be his first movie. Is it close?
No, he was in Sidelong Glances of a Pigeon, but he was uncredited. And then there's
I don't know what that movie's about, but that name is a fucking abstract. Brilliant.
Yeah, and then there was something called Square Root in 1969, but there's nothing about it.
Huh. Well, obviously, you got to have, before you can even come up with what the description of square root is, you have to have another number, you know? What else? I mean, Stallone was a good tangent, Tom. What else?
Yeah. Hey, we talked about The Boys. We talked about The Boys on here, right?
We have a couple of times.
I enjoyed that show.
You did watch it, though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Well, I talked about it with Katie and Jeremy.
Oh, I can't wait for season 2. Mm-hmm. It's almost done filming. Amazon's hitting it out of the park. I'm telling you, man. And goddamn, I know people are going to yell at me for this, but that fucking Fleabag justifiably kicked ass at the Oscars with Phoebe Bridgewater.
I haven't watched that yet. Is it good?
Yeah.
Dude, it's maybe my favorite show in the last 5-6 years.
It's
raunchy. This is dog.
I think he needs to go out. Could you let him out? I think.
Fart?
Yeah, I think it's poo 30 for Jenkins. That's for darn sure. But no, that movie is. I mean, that show is so good, and she won Best Writer, like Best Actress, and I'm telling you. And this plays right into our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
There's never been a book and or movie use breaking the fourth wall more than that show.
Wait, so there's never, and I mean
ever.
Okay,
yeah, I mean, because, and here's it, and this is a spoiler alert. They interviewed the cast after they kicked ass at the Emmys. And they asked about that. So she breaks the fourth wall in every other scene in the show.
Okay.
Well, she falls in love with the priest in season 2.
Okay.
And the priest falls in love with her. And he may be the only person that sees her for who she is. So every time she breaks the fourth wall, he goes, "Who were you just talking to?" And so if he's in the fore shot with his back to the camera, and she's in the far shot facing him, and she looks past him at the camera and makes a comment, he'll turn around and look and goes, "Who are you just looking at?" He goes, "Where are you going when you do that?" And man, but in the way I'm selling it is interesting. It's fucking executed to perfection on the show. It's great. You'd love it.
I'm interested.
You'd love it. Watch the show.
Interested.
Yeah. But no, that's we're down, and I'm glad you like The Boys because that is.
I loved it. I thought it was really good.
But I tell you what, that was a well acted show, man. Everybody in there was
I think award shows are stupid, but the actor who played
Superman,
yes,
whatever his character was,
one of the best acting jobs I've seen in years.
What was his Homelander?
Yeah. That guy, I need to know his name because he was fantastic.
It's like we talked about on the episode, and it's a good show. Both of these shows because they've spanned like 4 episodes now, and that's rare for us because we have a short attention span. But I told Missy, I said his facial expressions should have got him an award alone. I mean,
great.
As smug as fucking can be, but he also
had show of concern for his own well-being from time. Like, he was smug and worried all at the same time in scenes. And that's hard to pull off.
He's one of the most Yeah, I really need to know the actor's name because great performance, great character that had multiple layers.
Yeah.
I really
so
enjoyed
they
it.
did something that is very, for comics have struggled. Now, there's been some that have done. There's been some guys like Grant Morrison and Alan Moore, and some guys really hit a home run with the character Superman in the comic books.
Yeah.
But as iconic and how he's the biggest superhero in comic books in the history, he invented the genre, he's a very hard character to make layered because he's infallible. He's impervious. He's
talking about Superman in general?
Yeah, so, but what
I
they
think Tom Welling did a good job at Smallville.
Well, but he didn't reach peak power. But what I'm saying is,
good
like,
point.
the character alone, so that show took him and made him complicated and made him deep, which is hard to do.
What would you say is the hardest comic book character to nail down as an actor or
Superman.
actress?
Oh, as an actor?
Or an actress?
Actress? Superman. I think Superman's
Okay.
the hardest one. Yeah, I think Christopher Reeve's still the benchmark.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I think that. I think he's the best Superman.
But I think times were simpler then. It was the 80s, and it was easy to be,
Is Superman an interesting character?
No, he's not. That's the problem. And I love him, but he's not interesting. He's invulnerable. He's the strongest person in the world. He's one of the fastest. He has heat vision. He can hear everything. I mean, that you put yourself in a corner about things that can actually challenge him. And that's why he's not interesting. That's why Batman's so interesting, because he's a rich guy, a human that pushes himself past the point of perfection and he's troubled. He's driven by the murder of his parents, so he's psychologically flawed, and that's why his villains are so dark and disturbing, because that's what he needs.
I've never really found Superman that interesting, but what's interesting when my kids play superheroes, Teddy, my 2-year-old, loves Superman the most.
Well,
It makes my heart happy.
It does, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You can't be hurt except by this phantom rock that no one has. So yeah, I mean it's a tough thing to do.
So Homelander's name in real life is Anthony Starr.
What has he been in other than Homelander? Like, what has he done?
Yeah, good follow-up question.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, well, let's interview Missy today. Let's interview.
He's been in 26 things.
Oh.
I'll tell you that.
That's not a show that I
Well,
know.
yeah,
I know 13 Reasons Why, but I don't know
American
26.
Gothic, if you ever watched that.
I know it. I know. I've never watched it.
Banshee,
I know that too, but I've never watched it.
Low Down,
No doubt.
Tricky Business, Wish You Were Here, Bliss,
So not a lot.
Rush,
Yeah,
After
so-
the Waterfall. I mean,
He could be a breakout star.
He should be. He should be. I could see him as also a villainous CEO of a company in a movie or another series. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
he could pull off that smug,
Here's a real-
untouchable guy.
Here's a real question I have.
he was in Without a Paddle.
What was he
Really?
in with that? I love that
don't
movie.
know.
That's an underrated
It
Dax
is an
Shepard
underrated movie.
Yeah.
Now, is he an American or is he Brit?
He's New Zealand.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's Brit. That's
Yeah.
just for all intents.
All the
Which
good
is
actors
why
are.
his mouth moves weird when he talks.
Yeah, that's
you
no
can
doubt.
usually tell when a person is not from America when they have an American accent and their lips and mouth kind of move a little
Missy
different.
is a habitual
Connoisseur.
watcher of the mouth.
I'm a
Yeah.
connoisseur of.
All right, so I have to ask you, who do you think has done, off the top of your head, I have my answer, best non-American to do an American accent? Just off the top of your head.
Boy, that's tough.
Oh man, I think the guy that does Rick Grimes.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
pretty
he's
good.
Andrew Lincoln?
Yeah, Andrew Lincoln's
I
good.
think he's. I think he was
He's
really
pretty good. For me, it's always been from The Wire, Dominic, was it Weiss? The guy who played Jimmy McNulty.
Oh yeah, he is good.
Big
He is
Irish,
good.
thick Irish accent who did that Baltimore accent
Wow.
really well.
For that matter, Cillian Murphy, who's Irish and Pickney Blinders, does an old Pikey
need to watch
accent.
that show.
And he does this.
him right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many actors can pull off an American accent, but how many Americans can't pull off a foreign accent. But real quick, sorry,
No, you're
it's
fine.
amazing how Sean Connery can pull off no accent but his own, and still play every nationality.
Yeah.
Nah, he's knocking on heaven's door. Hey, speaking of Brits, Kelly and I never go see the movies anymore because we have 2 small children that ruin our lives. But, Downton Abbey coming out with their
Oh.
movie here soon.
Number one movie in America.
Now, I believe one of the episodes, you, Jeremy, had said that you didn't know anybody who watched Downton Abbey?
I didn't know. And
It's
you
a
told-
good show!
No, I don't hate on it. I'm sure it's good. I love the BBC.
Yeah.
I love the BBC. So,
So I'm not gonna lie. When you said Brits, I really thought you were gonna start talking about the challenge.
No.
Oh, this year-
Unfortunately, we are out on the challenge.
it's been a weird year. Let's not get into it now. I feel like we need to have a whole
That might be
episode about it.
that might be a Jeremy Missy solo episode.
I'm down with it. I'm down with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't watch anymore because we always had to pay like $30 to watch this season. 'cause
Okay,
don't
so
have
we
MTV.
just got AT&T TV,
Yeah.
and it's relatively.
Inex-
I mean, it's inexpensive.
It's a good way to cut the cord.
It's
Yeah.
And you don't need a box. You just need the app on your smart TV or a Fire Stick or Roku or whatever.
And we
And
were
that's-
talking earlier about recording multiple things, and like
Yeah.
Wednesday, you got a good Wednesday coming up. We can record every single channel at once and not have any restriction about flipping back and forth. It's all cloud-based storage, 500 hours.
How much does it cost?
At the package, we got $60
like-
a month.
No, ours.
Okay.
60, yeah.
I thought we got like the lower one that was like.
We got the middle.
yeah. So
So, because we wanted MTV and all that stuff or whatever.
AMC and MTV were the two things we had to have. Definitely
Okay.
because
So Cece, I'll have to take a look at that. I think we're paying $50 right now, but we don't have any Viacom channels, which is MTV, Nickelodeon. Comedy
Yeah,
Central.
we have those.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have those.
So is that worth $10?
And you also still have local channels, so that's nice
Yeah.
too.
We have
So
all that. We have all that with the PlayStation View.
It's
How's the sports?
oh, it's great.
Okay.
It's great. I've watched Premier League every morning. I've watched hockey. I mean, you got Fox Sports Midwest. You got all you want. That's
Okay.
no, that's why. Because I said I wanted Fox Sports Midwest, so we took the middle package.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's essential.
yeah.
So anybody listen because it's not available everywhere.
It's only
yet.
in 10
We're
cities right now.
We're
Oh.
one of the test cities.
Oh, check it
So
out.
if you're outside of St. Louis, sorry, you might not have it in your city.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it's completely internet based, cloud based storage and everything. I mean, it's great. It's
So
nice.
It's a
Yeah.
little slow for me.
It's
Like-
it's part of the deal with the streaming.
Yeah.
Well,
just
that
falls straight
and
off.
it's still new.
This
I feel
is
like
a-
it's going through bugs and stuff. So the longer it's around, maybe the better it'll become.
Sure.
This may be the third episode we've brought it up. So this is we're putting a nail in the coffin that is AT&T TV talk in this episode.
So speaking of sports, happy trails to WGN 73.
Is
That
that crazy?
That's unbelievable. We were talking about
That's really
that
sad.
at a soccer practice recently.
Yeah.
73 goddamn years. TBS, are they the last ones holding on to a team that doesn't go to a big sports network?
I don't know if TBS has the Braves game.
Do they not?
I don't know.
You know what? But TBS is now owned by NBC or whatever,
Yeah, I don't
right?
think they do.
So they got national coverage now. So
Yeah.
they're, small price to pay. But man,
It's sad.
73 years. That does suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I was sad when KPLR stopped having the Cardinal games,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that was nowhere near that length.
No, because KPLR was never a national
Yeah.
deal like
When
WGN.
did the YouTube only games start?
They get a couple every season.
Like
Two
the
years
Cardinals
ago,
had one
maybe?
this week,
Yeah,
right?
and it was
that's
bad.
So
and the
weird.
announcers mislabeled Michael Waka as Adam Wainwright 3 times.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just get some people that know the goddamn game.
Yeah.
Just get some
That-
people. Come
maybe
on.
that's why it shouldn't be just on YouTube.
Yeah. Speaking of YouTube, I'm going to segue into our quiz. I went
All
to
right.
I went to the YouTubes to get a lot of sound bites for our quiz.
Who needs a beer?
I just poured one for both of us, so it's all you, my man.
All
So I wanted to tell you guys, I don't know if you know this, but I think it was Wednesday, but this past week was National One Hit Wonder Day.
Ooh.
And because of that, Entertainment Weekly released its top 25 list of catchiest one-hit wonders. And I have that list in front of you. What I do have, but what I'm not going to tell you is the top 10, because therein lies our quiz. But before we get to our quiz, I will tell you this. Here is the rules for your quiz. I'm going to alternate ladies first between Missy and Tom. You're going to be 10, Tom will get to 9, and I'm going to go down the list. You get a possible 2 points for artist and song, and you're not allowed to steal unless it's in case of a tie, and then we will go back and alternate who goes to try to steal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so if I know it, I have to keep my mouth shut.
Until the very end. Okay, so, now, and the reason I wanted to bring it up, because if they're the catchiest one-hit wonders, we should know them, right? I mean, in theory, we should know them.
Okay, well, I feel like that was just foreshadowing on how we won't know these songs.
Well, I
Making
think
excuses for us.
I think you'll know the songs, but you may not know the name, and you may forget
I
who
am
they
horrible
are.
at. Can I just give you the chorus? Will that
I think
count?
you will know.
Because I don't know song titles.
But what I did do is I did go 25 to 11, and I'm going to shoot through those real quick. And I know you guys feel free to comment on them, whatever you want. Number 25 was Who Let the Dogs Out?
Who?
Well, the Baha Men did.
Yep.
So number 24 was Gangnam Style by Psy. Mm-hmm. Well, Gangnam Style.
Hey, but speaking of correlating this and memes, I send out memes to my team every day. And
she's that person.
Yeah.
She doesn't spend inspirational things. She sends out memes.
I start the day with a laugh.
No, I think it's way better. better.
I start the day with a laugh, but my meme on Friday was me walking out of the office, and it was him like this, and the meme part was me walking out of the office on Friday, and it was that
Oh, Psy?
Psy,
Oh, okay.
like standing there with his arms spread, like, yes.
Number 23, the naughtiest song on the list, by Kaya, My Neck, My Back.
My pussy and my crack.
I will let her to do that one.
I said, why did I say that with a southern drawl?
Number 22 was one of my favorite. I don't know that I made this up, but I feel like I did. It's James Blunt's "You're Beautiful," but I said your butt is full of poo instead of that. So it was my favorite parody. You're beautiful.
Oh, I know.
It's true. Yeah.
I just you're so.
I think I'd die.
I think so. Maybe, I don't know. But number 21, speaking of dying, because he never had a career after this, "Bad Day" by Daniel Powder. So you had a bad day, take a look around. This one I don't agree with because the name is "Jump Around" by the House of Pain. They're not a one-hit wonder. They've had a couple of fucking Shamrocks and Shenanigans was my favorite song off that. Or no, I'm sorry, that was the name of the album, Turnstiles and some.
Okay.
But anyway, House of Pain. Probably a one-hit wonder, but still going strong on that one hit.
All right.
The dumbest name song by the dumbest name band on the list, "Tub Thumpin'" by Chumbawamba, was number 19.
Hey. You know what? John Hummelty, while he was playing soccer, he got knocked down. But he got up again, and he scored 7 goals.
Yeah, I was going to say, scored 7 goals for a 7-2 win.
Damn, he held
Johnny
the team.
Menendez is fucking
He
great.
may not be a
He
soccer
was like, I just held you motherfuckers up.
No,
little side note.
No,
he
I
said
wish he
that,
would.
Well, side note.
There's
he
definitely
said,
times as his coach I wish he'd call his teammates out for sucking ass.
Yeah, but side note, Tom said one of their problems is that he is a little bit of flamboyant.
Oh,
and,
he's a
bragging.
fucking diva.
Laughs at the other team when he scores.
Yeah, he scored today. He goes, ha ha. I go, no.
You can't
Absolutely
do that to
not.
your teenager. Number 18, "Chasing Cars" by Snow Patrol. Number 17, "Rebirth of Slick," "Cool Like That" by
Cool like that.
Digital Planets. I don't even know that fucking
I don't
song.
even know the song.
You've
Yeah.
Cool Like That. Oh, that is it.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, you're right. I did. I'm cool like that. I fly like that. That one.
and I think it's Diggable Planets.
Diggable. That makes way more sense. I'm an idiot. Number 16 also did have more than one hit, but their one hit was their biggest hit by far, "The Middle" by Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, yeah, they do a great Springsteen cover song.
They're a good band. I've
Yeah,
seen
they're
them
pretty
live.
solid.
They're a really good
Yeah,
band.
they're pretty solid.
Number 15, though, is "The Lips of an Angel" by Hinder. Number 14, another really good band, and it's kind of a shame they're on this list because this song is not indicative of their catalog. They're really a deep band, but "Flagpole Sitta" by Harvey Danger.
Okay.
"Still My Sunshine" by Lynn, maybe the worst song on the list. No, "Tub Thumpin'." "Still My Sunshine," still really, really.
I'll go tub thumping or just steal my
Yeah,
sunshine.
"Still My Sunshine's" actually, I like it. So,
You sing along, don't lie.
yeah, I do. You know
my
what?
sunshine.
Here's the problem with the song, and this is going to get a little weird. This
right.
song came out years and years and years ago before I met my wife. The video had
I know where this is going.
the girl that said "Steal My Sunshine" was in the video was pregnant, and there was something undeniably attractive about her, and I felt dirty for liking her.
She had the glow.
She did have the glow, and I was attracted to it. And I used to say, I can't watch this video because I'm attracted to the pregnant woman in the video back in the day. Back
I'm
in the
so
day
disgusted.
when I was young, but I'm not a kid. Hey, next song is "Stacy's Mom" by Fountains of Wayne.
Okay.
Stacy's mom has
I
it going
honestly
on.
thought
Yeah.
that was a Blink-182 song.
You did?
Yeah.
Definitely not. And here's number 11, and this one I'll go down swinging. This man is not a one-hit wonder. Just because this one hit was ungodly one of the biggest hits of its time, maybe of that decade, he's not a one-hit wonder because there were songs like Buttermilk Biscuits, You Can't Slip. He had a lot of great songs, but Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back.
Yeah.
He had a great career.
Jump on it. Jump on it.
But Baby Got Back, yeah, it was big, but still. But that's not the star of the show. The star of the show is this quiz.
Okay.
And I did a lot of work for this quiz.
All right, here we go.
Headphones on.
Oh.
Missy's up first, right?
We will.
Oh God, that scared the shit out of me.
They're not used to wearing headphones, so Missy about died from that.
So when you play the song, do I say it out loud?
You can wait the 15 seconds each clip is if you want, but you do say it out loud because, and if you don't get it, is that too loud? I can turn it down.
So
Just say turn it down. Say, Jeremy, turn it down. Is that better?
Yeah.
Now, I do apologize for the recording. Some of these songs were better quality recordings than others, but you guys should be able to hear it. But we're going to go with number 10 for
And this
Missy.
is me, right? I listened to the. Okay.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave.
Yeah.
All right, Missy. What song is this and who sang it?
I can tell you it is. Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy. I don't know.
That's
the name
it.
of
That's it.
I was
You
like, I
got
don't
them
know
both.
the name of
I'm
songs.
too sexy is in fact. I forgot to put the ding on here. That is it. Right, said Fred. Too sexy.
Man, I'm in the hole already.
All right, here we go. Number 9.
Into a closer times when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out. What's
In my head,
All right.
and I scream the top of my. Oh, I'm on the wrong verse. Who sang it and what's the title? Mr. Hummel.
Song is called "What's Going On."
Okay,
Do I get put for that? I don't know.
you
the-
lost that point.
I know I had
I'm
a
gonna-
weird. I know I had a weird title that wasn't that. It is Four Non-Blondes. So.
Four Non-Blondes is accurate, and I will not tell you the title, but I can tell you through the entire song the title is not said once.
That's I knew it was one of those.
But we will
deals.
come back. That puts us. Oh, it is an early 2-1 lead for Melissa, and we're going to go to number 8 for Melissa.
Listen to my voice, it's my disguise. I'm by your side.
Oh, it's what you do to me. I feel like I'm harmonizing perfect. It's not true.
It's what you do to me.
I know the song. I just don't know the name of it or who sang it.
Oh, so I'm going to put a big nothing right there.
Yep.
Time for me to come back. The
All
Badger.
right.
You're totally winning this. I don't
and
know
I
song
will,
titles.
I will give us all the answers. That's why I'm writing it down so we know as we go on later. Here we go. This is probably
People
one.
are probably yelling at their radios
Here's
right now.
one on the list that people know by heart in every
great.
karaoke bar in the world.
All right, so it's I touch myself.
Got 1 point.
Fuck.
I will give you one clue. It's an all-female band. That's not true either. It's a female lead singer.
It's not Susanna Vega, is it?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
No, it is not Susanna Vega. So the score after 4 rounds is 2-2.
Shit.
Toot toot.
Here we go. Melissa,
Yes.
number 6 for you. Want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Is it a song? Yes.
Yeah.
It
Is
is.
that Jimmy Eat World?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No.
Clearly not. Okay. Take Me Home.
Oh, you gave up 2 points on that one. It is not either of those. But we are tied. I hope we go to a tiebreaker so you guys can start
I am
stealing
not
it.
good at
I know.
song titles.
Here, so I want to throw cards on the table. Out loud, with the sound on my laptop, I did this whole thing sitting next to my wife on her work from home, and I knew
I
it
was
would
like,
not
what the
help her in any way for this quiz.
Well, I was like, could you please turn the music? In my head, I was like, I'm actually working, and clearly you're not. Can you turn that down?
I think this one Tom may get, and I'll tell you why I think you may get it. I think this is the hardest one on the list.
Oh Jesus! All right, no pressure.
And I've never met a girl like you before.
That is a 0 for me.
Oh,
No
boy.
fucking hope. I don't even know if I've heard that song before.
What?
Oh, you don't know?
No, I got
You want to take
nothing.
a guess on the name?
No guesses.
All right. Wow.
This is a fail on
well,
a
no.
quiz, man.
My reason for bringing this quiz up, these are supposed to be the 10 catchiest, as according to
That's
Entertainment
what
Weekly.
Yep.
What did I say before this started? We were not going to know this shit.
But that was kind of my point. Like, these are the one-hit wonders, and we should know them, and we do know most of the
You
songs.
already
Yeah.
went through the songs that we actually knew. You already.
That's not true. You guys know some more. Speaking of, Melissa.
As your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. Trying to keep your head up to the sky.
Love is a may cause you fears. Go ahead, release your fears. My, oh, my.
I mean, if you didn't sing
You can do
along
it
with
here.
it,
There
no,
you go. No,
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 I
do it
don't. But if you wouldn't sing along with it, I might have a better chance.
That's part of my handicap in the field.
It's a female.
Accurate. The name I didn't expect you to get of the artist, but I thought you might get the title.
I don't know. I know the song. Again, know the
boy.
song. Don't know.
We're going to number 3.
Oh, what's the score here? Going to number 3.
Going to number 3,
2-2.
it is 2-2. Number 3.
Put this bad boy away here. Oh, fuck me.
Mega hype band. They thought they were
I
going to be
know,
huge.
I know.
The word's huge.
Oh my god.
And I'm not going to lie to you guys, and this is not me bragging. I'm glad I did this because I knew number 5, the one I said I thought Tom would know, because it was obscure, so I figured he'd know it. I knew most of these.
I've known
The
every
titles
song.
I might have got wrong, but the artist I've got.
I've
yeah.
heard every song, or I've heard every song so far.
It's a good,
I know.
it's a good group of
yeah.
songs. It's a good mixtape. Tom's about to mail in a 0 here, though.
Somebody I used to know.
1 point for
Damn
Tom.
I do not know the artist.
Yeah. All right. That's okay. That's okay. This is your last chance to get on the board.
Fuck. I like Tom's dance moves. I don't. Are we still listening to that song? It sounds like it.
It was almost seamless. Almost a seamless
I
transition.
again know the song.
Oh
don't
no!
know.
That
Don't
means
know.
that means
Tom
the
wins.
final
yeah.
score of the game. We're gonna give Tom a chance to go with number 1, and then we'll track back through.
Yeah, sure.
But again, Tom just took a 3-2 lead on a very tough competition.
Listen.
tough competition.
Listen, all your listener is probably yelling at their.
I hope so.
I do too.
And here's number 1. Hard to argue.
Oh fuck! Come on! Why couldn't I have that one?
What if God was one of us? Tori Amos?
Only 1 point for Tom.
Okay.
Joan Osborne.
There you go.
Trying to make his way home. Okay, let's go back through what we missed. 10 we got right. 10 was I'm Too Sexy for Right Said Fred, which that one's a good pull, though. Right Said Fred, a lot of people wouldn't know that. Number 9, Tom got the 4 Non-Blondes right. Name of the song's What's Up. Not said one time. They say What's Going On 13 times.
Well, fun fact.
Yeah. Number 8, and I will play this because we missed this one. Tom, do you know it? You have a chance to at least score some bonus points.
All right.
Listen to my voice.
It's Virginia.
No, but good call.
It's South Dakota.
Yes, Vermont. This is the Plain White Tees with Hey There Delilah.
I hated it.
Yes,
I thought
that-
it was Hated of Virginia.
You didn't, wait a second. You didn't hear me say all that when I guessed.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I was not paying attention. Number 7, which was I Touch Myself. Tom got partially
Is it
right.
Destiny?
It's Divinals.
The Vinyls.
Yeah.
Damn it. I knew
Number 8 or number 6, Melissa missed.
Semisonic closing time.
That is it. That is it. Semisonic and closing time. Number 5. Number 5 was Edwyn Collins, A Girl Like You.
I literally don't know if I've ever heard that song. we
That's a
played.
good song. I like it.
I like it too.
Uh,
It sounds like it should have been in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The 90s, yeah, because it sounds like Urge Overkill. The 90s called and said, Missy, you got to get Desiree right.
Right.
You Gotta Be is the name of the song, and it's Desiree. It's spelt Desiree with an apostrophe in the middle of it, but it's Desiree.
I think Rose McGowan sings this song every day. She gets out of the shower for short
That
hair.
could be. That could be. That put
And
us
draws on her
number
weird
3.
eyebrows.
Number 3 was Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier. Gotye.
Okay.
Number 2, Missy missed, which was
Thank you for pointing out that I've missed them all.
this is the New Radicals with "You Get What You Give."
I feel like you should have been saying these in your DJ voice.
Yeah. Hey, that was the New Radicals with "You Get What You Give." And remember, this weekend is the Monster Truck Rally, so everybody show up. Be there, be there, be there.
Be there, be there, be there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. One of my favorite things about this whole segment of all of our episodes of the podcast was the fact that I had a soundboard for sound bites of music. That made me so happy.
Yeah.
Flawless.
What's that?
It was a flawless. You know, I think this is the first time I've actually done a quiz. It was
Yeah,
fun
you
to me.
participated in
It
a
was
quiz.
fun to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. It's how does it feel on that side of the table?
Well, it won, so great.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're
Asshole.
keeping score at home, the final score was we're gonna give you
Well,
four.
technically, I've not done a quiz before, but I have won mini debates against Bender. So that technically,
Yeah, but that's arguing against someone who is borderline a mute. So you're gonna win that argument. No, I'm just kidding, Bender. We love you. So yeah. So no, that was. I don't. Again, I guess I'd have to look at the all-time list of one-hit wonders because I feel like there's some one-hit wonders out there. You know, technically, your song "Lit" from Lit should have been on the list because they were.
That's untrue because that whole album
Oh,
that
that's
song is
true.
on is a
They did have
fantastic
multiple
album.
hits off that.
well,
That's
I
true.
think one thing about that list is, was there anything pre 1995?
Yeah, no 80s. No 80s.
No
on
80s,
that.
no 70s. I mean, I think when I hear one hit wonder, I always think of My Sharona by the Knack.
Oh, the Knack. That's a good one. That should have been on the list. I'll tell you, I do understand why 70s, 60s, 70s wasn't on there a lot because they still made albums back then. So
Yeah.
you got more than one song. But, you know, there's a lot of old school 50s and 40s. But maybe they just wanted to do modern era songs. I didn't see the exact description. But I thought the same thing as I was going through it. These were supposedly the 25 catchiest of all time. I don't know. It's a subjective list.
Hey, it was fun.
It made for a great quiz.
So when I think one hit wonder, I think of the movie That Thing You Do.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
Wonders.
The Wonders,
The
yeah.
I love the, what was it? The Wonders.
Yeah.
No, we're the Wonders.
Yeah, it's like no, it's the one. Yeah,
I
the way they
believe
tried to spell it was.
You
funny.
can look it up, but I believe Tom Hanks' directorial debut. I believe that's why that
okay.
movie was Playtone. His production company came from that because it was Playtone Records was the name of the company they worked for.
So we don't have cameras here, but Missy was drinking a Bud Light Gloria beer from the Stanley Cup St. Louis Blues.
One hit wonder.
I would
arguably.
think so. Yeah, Gloria Brannigan. Gloria was definitely one hit wonder.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But you know, we've been sitting here recording over an hour. I feel like it's a better time than ever to shoot it over to my wife for the Throw It to Missy segment.
You told me to put a pin in it.
So we have, yeah. So your first topic that you brought up earlier, I'm going to credit you for it because I want to give credit where credit's due. Is
No one has to slam a drink.
we are massive fans, you and I, of Anthony Jeselnik, who in his old show, The Jeselnik Offensive, we talked about too. We've seen him in stand up. He's got a new show where he interviews other comics called Good Talk, and it captures what was great about his Jeselnik because there's still points he'll ask a question when they go to answer, it'll go "Da-dong, who cares?" and he'll interrupt them,
And
I
it
mean,
always scares them. They're like, what the fuck is that?
yeah. And he's so far to date through 5 episodes. He's had Kristen Shaw, David Spade, Kumail Nanjiani this past week. God, I can't remember who else so far, but he's had good all comedians, all real like career comedians.
The next episode, I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah, Tig Notaro's next
I am
episode.
not
She's
a-
not a big fan, but
I'm not a fan of her. Listen, I'm happy that she lived through what she did, but when she took her shirt off and did her whole half a stand up or half of
So
her
she
stand
survived
up.
breast cancer and
Yeah.
had a mastectomy.
So
She did a stand routine for tits out.
She
No,
took her. No,
no.
she has no tits.
there's nothing there but scar. Like,
Yeah, she took it off.
She removed her breast because she had
Okay,
breast
so
cancer.
she did a topless.
Yeah,
Yes,
It
yeah.
was. It was. It takes a lot to offend me. But
Not offend. You were grossed
No,
out, and that's
it
not
was-
a bad word.
No, but I don't. I mean, I'm squeamish, but that wasn't
Yeah.
squeamish. But it's just weirded me out.
You know what? I get. No, I think you're allowed to be weirded out by it. But
I also don't think I don't like her comedy.
Yeah, that's
either.
just it. You're not a fan of her comedy, and being weirded out is. I mean, you're
Yeah,
a
it's two
human,
different
so
things,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Who's the girl? I think she identifies as a girl who was on Netflix that had the over the top praised stand up comedian. Is it Hannah something maybe?
I don't know.
The way
I'm gonna look this up.
Tig Notaro got like very famous for because of that,
and she's a lesbian.
she's not my
and-
favorite. And Rhea Butcher is her life mate. And Rhea Butcher, I find Rhea Butcher funnier, and I think I see the brilliance in her comedy. It's not my favorite comedy, and I do applaud her for being brave enough to come out. And even though that's all accurate, you're still allowed to be a little weirded out by that special. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you can't help years of thinking that scars and stuff are weird. And, I mean, yeah, you can't help that.
I haven't seen it, obviously. I commend her for her bravery.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
for sure.
That's awesome, but we don't. If it's not funny, it's not funny. And if it's
Well,
unnecessary-
I
she's
didn't
also
find
another.
her funny.
Yeah, and she's also another comedian's comedian. So comedians love her. But the show though is great because Anthony Jeselnik is back on TV and we love it. So for me, I would love to give it a 5 because it's Anthony Jeselnik, but I still give it like a 3.5 because the format's a little weird. I mean, not weird. It's not dull. It's funny. It's very funny. But because of the format, I believe holds it back.
So I can agree with that. I feel like if you're having comedians on, even though he's asking questions because it's like an interview style show, some of the comedians kind of get serious.
Yeah, well,
And I would want them to just like spitball back and forth. And
you want to see him riffing back and forth,
right?
yeah.
And like Kumail, I loved the Kumail episode, but he was really kind of serious a lot of the
Well,
time.
I'll tell you where I differ from you. That's my favorite part of the show because he does ask some questions where it's like, so for instance, he had Kristen Shaw on there, and he goes, Kristen Shaw, you're a writer, actor, and it says here. No, it wasn't her. It was his first guest. Whoever it was, his first guest. It says, and it says
that was Kristen Shaw on her Twitter. Her Twitter said,
No.
Oh.
No, there was one. It was a guy because the guy laughed at it. It goes, it says here you're a writer, director, actor, and get this, improviser. And they had a good laugh because he's insulting improv. And so he'll do stuff like that that's intentionally baiting him in. Like he baited Kumail a lot. Like tried to get him to weigh in on like very polarizing
politics.
And Kumail's like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. So that's funny. That's played for a joke. But what I like about it is Anthony Jeselnik, who is arguably, if not like factually, the biggest insult or line pushing comic touring today. When he asks a question, and you can tell like he's Anthony Jeselnik, and he always has that tone of arrogance. But when he likes something, like I find that the most interesting part. Like he'll ask a question that should be a joke. Like, he asked Kumail. He goes, "Do you identify yourself as do you still identify as a stand-up who's made it as an actor? Or are you an actor that dabbles in stand-up?" And they go back and forth for about 2 minutes on it, and you really get an insight to why both of them love stand-up on it.
Sure.
And so that's a serious, like she said, to your point, Missy, that's a serious back and forth on it. But then he mixes up still some of the, like, for instance, he did one where the guy, somebody's favorite comic, he always asks them who their favorite comic or a bit they wish they could steal. And somebody answered, here was my favorite, the guy that influenced me the most. And Anthony said, well, he actually has my favorite bit that I wish I would have done.
Okay.
And it's an albino black guy. And the guy
He goes, I'm an albino black guy. And,
Yeah, the
and
guy-
Anthony goes, I want to use that same bit.
And he goes, do you think I could get away with it? And the guy goes, no. And Kumail goes, no. And he goes, but I think I could because look at me. I look like an albino black guy. But again, that would be so offensive. He wishes he wrote that, and I find that interesting. But so
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But Tom, of our Hail Mary last segment, what do you got to
So
talk?
anyway, the comedian's name is Hannah Gadsby, and it's Nanette. That was
Yeah, I've
critically
not watched
acclaimed.
that. Yeah.
I did. I mean, it's not really comedy. I mean, it's very brave and poignant and sad and
So it's in the line of that Louis C.K. style comedy because people think that Louis C.K. still to this day is the best stand-up comic. I mean, some do,
well,
but he's not. To me, sometimes he's not as funny. He's
Is he just like a storyteller almost?
But her comedy is like she does a bit like 30 to 45 minutes of comedy and then deconstructs all of her jokes. So, like, this is why it isn't funny because like
I'd kinda like to watch that. I like that
it's
deconstruction
powerful,
stuff.
It's interesting.
You don't have to
So-
like it.
I mean,
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's what's great about comedy. I think we are definitely in the era of the greatest comedy boom we've ever had. The 80s, arguably, people said, but there were only like 10 guys that could...
I don't know if that's true though because we're still very heavy in the cancel culture.
Well, that's why...
I think it's coming. I think it's peaked. I think it's coming down the end. I think the best story this week that's come out is: have you guys heard about the kid in Iowa? He was on College Game Day. He had a sign up that
yes,
said,
yes.
So he has a sign up that says Venmo me, Busch Light. So he ended up getting $1 million.
Yeah,
over
he
$1
was
million.
awesome.
Yeah, and he donated that to.
He donated it all to the Children's Hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so a reporter did an article on him and found some racist tweets he
From when
had
he was, like, 16.
Yeah, in high school, yeah.
And so people were obviously very upset about it because look, this country. Why is it okay that we can go back and find what kids do when they're in high school and tweet, but criminal records are sealed until
Right. Right.
There's a reason they are, because you make bad decisions when you're a kid. And I
Right.
can speak on behalf of all men. We are so clouded with the thought of sleeping with women in high school that we literally put no effort into thinking about anything
Well,
else.
it's just like any celebrity, like Kevin Hart. They dug up all those tweets
Right.
about him being homophobic.
No.
People evolve. People do change.
I'm
Not
sorry.
everyone.
so,
Well,
But-
the twist in the story
I know-
is
yep.
yeah. So Missy knows the twist in the story is that so people go back to this reporter's
Yeah, I heard that,
and
yeah.
they found way worse stuff.
and
that
he
was-
got fired.
He
Yeah, he
got
got
fired.
fired.
Yeah, good for that guy.
That's
Absolutely.
called karma. And listen, why did this reporter feel the need to go back through his social media to try and find something bad about him when he was actually doing good?
We live in a society now where that we have to. I think we have too many miserable people out there that are not happy, that want to ruin other people's
Yeah,
happiness.
I would agree with that.
So here's what I'm going to say to in rebut to what you said and an argument against you.
Oh.
It's not true. And the reason I'll say it's not true is because we have more comedians this day and age that sell out stadiums than we've ever had. And that is a fact. And the reason it is guys like Bill Burr and those guys, they say, their stance is, you can say whatever the fuck you want as long as it's funny. As long as it's funny, you can say. And it's true. And I think we more than ever need stand-up comics, and we need comedy. And I think it's easy to say that we're not in a comedy boom, and it's easy to say that we're cancel culture and stuff and fire culture is too serious because it happens. But again, the fact that 2% of the population makes up for 80% of the social media that's in the world,
Sure.
that's where we get cloudy. And there's a slew of comics out there in the world. Like, listening to stand-up comics.
But you have to enjoy. I disagree with you because you have to enjoy comedy and want that content.
But they are. People are because they're
I did-
selling out arenas.
Okay, so Eddie Murphy was his comedy back in the 80s, dangerous and raw.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely offensive. How many people in the 80s do you think knew who Eddie Murphy was? 80% of the country? Maybe 70%? How many people do you think know who Bill Burr is in this country? 10%?
Well,
Only
I tell
the
you
people
though.
that would follow his same politics.
Well, but see, I don't agree with it. I think more than that say it, but I think the majority of the people that say it don't give a fuck about what's going on the internet, so they don't speak up. I
I
think
agree with that. There's a silent majority.
And Bill Burr is one of the highest grossing comics on tour and constantly sells out 10, 12,000 people wherever he goes. And you can't do that if people don't know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, one of the worst things I think we have as a culture right now is the echo chamber. And this is good and bad for people that we agree with and don't. you get so wrapped up in the stuff that you like that you tend to ignore everything else. And while that can be healthy for the people that are loud and obnoxious about their beliefs, far left and far right, they get in their echo chamber and they refuse facts. Guys like us that are in the middle, we get in our echo chamber and ignore shit. The problem with ignoring shit is that we're allowing those loud people to keep talking. This cancel culture, fuck them.
Yeah.
They cancel. Now, I will say this. The guy that got fired with SNL recently that has never appeared, he also had like some stuff dug up on him. So what he said, he was on a podcast that wasn't funny. The joke wasn't even close to funny, but what he said is in Chinatown, certain people would look at a building like that and say a bunch of gooks lived there, or a bunch of chinks. So he said a bunch of chinks lived there. And yeah, that's not a great, but what he was saying, he was pointing out what people in his neighborhood said, and he got fired from SNL for it. But they also went back where he has had tweets about he would talk shit on fellow Asian comedians and use the same word. So maybe that was worth it.
Well, you also had a lot of like derogatory gay jokes.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And we're not talking like 10 years ago. We're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
like 18 months ago.
Turns out that he
has not
had some
evolved
other
yet.
bad stuff. No, if that thing on that podcast was the only thing he got fired for, that's cancel culture gone wrong. Because everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah.
But it turns out he had a lot of shit.
Well, I think you could make gay jokes without using the words, I guess we're using the F word
Yeah.
to describe
Oh,
a gay
man.
person.
In fact, there's a whole... I've been listening to nothing but podcasts this week where stand-up comics have been using it, and they're like, our best friend is a stand-up comic who's gay and uses it more than us. And the thing is...
that's the same thing as the N-word, and black people using the N-word. They use it,
I
but
kinda-
they don't
it's
want...
not with you.
See, I don't think it is. I think the N-word still carries more weight.
Oh, of course
Well,
it
yeah,
carries more weight,
it does, but
I-
we can't... We as white people
Yeah,
can't use
yeah.
it. But if we had an African-American come in here...
He could say it, yeah.
Like on that roast... That,
Yeah. Yep.
That
Chris
whatever
Ray
that-
or whatever his name,
no,
something Ray.
Yeah,
the black
some
guy.
SNL guy
Yeah.
was on.
Yeah, there's a big difference between saying, like, that's a little gay, and you're a fucking faggot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
for
no,
sure.
no, you're right. But still, I think that is still more accepted than dropping an N-bomb.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
yeah. But no, I mean, I think we've said it on this podcast before, and I can't remember what stand-up said it, but the moment everything becomes off limits, nothing is off limits, and that's the way you should live.
I think cancel culture has peaked.
Oh God, I hope so.
I think it has.
You know what? The only thing. So I just argued in an optimistic way against you, but so I argue against you in a pessimistic way. I don't think so. Until we get out of this presidency, I don't think cancel culture's peaked.
Well, you're getting 4 more years of it, so.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. And
You think?
oh,
Yes.
I think as long
man.
as he can survive this Ukraine thing, it's a layup. I think he'll win maybe by one of the biggest margins in a long time. They've all been close lately.
It'll be just like Clinton versus Dole in '96.
Oh, yeah.
Where Republicans were pretty confident they were going to beat Clinton after he was impeached, and
Yeah.
Clinton beat him pretty handedly.
I think it's going to be the biggest since that.
because I think it's going to be. I'll make a prediction now. It's going to be Bender's gal Warren,
Against, yeah, that's
and
no doubt.
she's going to get fucking waxed.
I don't think she has the. I think she has the mental and intelligent capacity to defend. She
would
doesn't
be
have
a
the.
great president.
She
Well,
has. She
I like
has.
her
She would be fine.
I like that she's going around like she'll wait and be with people for hours, like
Yeah.
in a line. She'll take selfies with people for like 4 or
Absolutely,
5 hours.
100% agree.
That is smart.
I
Because
think-
that is what this world
yeah.
is revolving around right now. is social media.
Unfortunately, though, I think no one has the playground insult capacity to compete with Trump, and that's where Trump goes.
I think Sleepy Joe could.
Yeah, I think Sleepy Joe's out.
I think so too. unfortunately.
So the one thing I had for the Throw to Missy segment, and then we got to go order pizza. Our kids are hungry. Just announced this week, I sent it out on our Facebook page. Spider-Man will be returning to the MCU universe. Sony and Disney agreed to one more film and some additional appearances by Mr. Tom Holland. So we'll at least get a wrap-up of that trilogy, showing that Andrew Garfield's the worst Spider-Man of all time, the only one to not get a trilogy. Poor guy. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him. His movies sucked, but I enjoyed him. So, yeah, happy about that from the nerd standpoint, but still a little disappointed that it's Sony still. So, postscript to that, though, Apple, that Apple is in strong talks to buy Sony. And a lot of people think that's going to go through. There's a clause in the contract that says if a company buys out Sony, all of the rights to Marvel's property default back to Marvel, which in turn defaults back to Disney. So we might there's which could be why they agreed to one more film, because it keeps Sony more valuable.
Yeah.
And makes up the price for Apple.
Why
and then Disney knows they'll still get them no matter what.
Apple basically wants the PlayStation?
I think so. I mean,
was there anything else that Sony has that's valuable?
Oh, Sony has a lot of stuff. I mean, they still make audio components and music and stuff like that. But they also, their production company has Venom and Spider-Man and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So at least the price tag's high. But whatever, still good.
Well, it's not that high if they don't have the rights to it. They get bought out.
Yeah, I think if we dug a little deeper, we'd find some movie properties that is good for them. So
Sure.
I don't know, but I think that's all I brought. Anybody else bring anything else?
Nada.
No Bender, but that wouldn't matter because the guy that always leads us off, and we're knee deep in the middle of preseason, is Mr. Hummel. So
well, hey, you know what? Those St. Louis Blues, your Stanley Cup defending champions, are coming back on Wednesday night, home opener against the Washington Capitals. I will not be there. It's kind of sad. So watch it on Fox Sports Midwest. See that banner being raised, and hey, let's go Blue.
There we go.
Bye.
And we are playing some music, so we're out of here.
Thank you, guys.